Hello everyone, welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is the 21st round of the Silver Championship then, and today could be a championship crowning achievement for Nigel to get his first championship in about 7 seasons from the ALR point of view. Fantastic. I think he has to outscore Kaidal. Sorry, I'm on the wrong day. Has to outscore Equals by 15 points-ish, something like that, give or take. So, yeah, so it could be a championship crowning day for Nigel, but he had a bit of a difficult time last night in the gold race, didn't he? By the way, the format for tonight, then, as you can tell, with no single-shot qualifying tonight, we are straight in to, well, actually, no, we're having standard qualifying, but then it's the sprint followed by the race itself, and so we have got two races in one tonight, like last night. We've also got a qualifying session as well. Nosy is not here tonight, and as he is travelling to Germany, as I think he's gone to get some Bleischnips. But anyway, oh gosh, my laptop's on the blink. As Craigar is out of the pits now, and this is a good opportunity to go through the drivers and the constructors standard. Farfus the goat, we got a wet Grand Prix out of us. The sprint seems to be okay, but the race itself is going to be wet by the sounds of it. I thought he was going to have a wet sprint and wet feature race wet Grand Prix last night, but that wasn't the case, was it? I think someone just duped me last night. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors, shall we? And it, as I said, it could be a potential championship crowning here tonight. Then Nigel is 63 points in front of Equals, with only 78 up for grabs at the end of tonight. Then, so if the gap between Nigel and Equals is over 78 points, then that is it. The championship is done and dusted. Nigel will be the champion for Season 5 of Silver. Magnificent stuff indeed. Tonight we're going to have a very unusual thing in qualified anyway, as Fanjo's not racing tonight, which means we might have a different pole sitter. Fanjo, I think, is on 14 pole positions out of 20 qualifying sessions or something like that. It's ridiculous. His pole positions have been this season. For talking to Fanjo, he is for now. He's out of the championship. Unfortunately, he's 121 points away from Nigel. We're on board. Craigar just about to set a time on the board now. Also, thank you very much to Van Petterson, Eddie Van Petterson, who is our 500th subscriber. Oh goodness me! And Craig has spun the car at the top of the hill, and I think it turns 7, I believe it is there. And he is, unfortunately, that's his first time has already been scratched off, unfortunately. So we're going to stick with Reflections then, who is on a lap now then. Oh, that's unfortunate for Craig Arden. It's and that's another car off. Goodness me! And is the rain come early then here in qualifying? I don't think it has. I can't see rain spots on the car, but we've had two drivers who have gone off the circuit already in this one. And goodness gracious me! Yeah, it's a very challenging start then to the laps then for those drivers. Well, I think we've also got Dylan out there as well. Then, so I think that Dylan will be in. Craigar set the fast lap of a 1:17. That's still a pretty good time, considering the fact he was facing the wrong way for a bit of lap. Anyway, let's go back to the championship. Brabant in full position. He has an outside chance of stealing that third position away from Fanjo, but at the moment there, the top three look to be locked in. Farp has had a miserable couple of races and has dropped down to 5th in the championship. Now he's got to look over his shoulder as well, with Beast very much who's been the king of qualifying behind Fanjo this season. He is 6th at the moment. Murphy is 7 points beyond Beast in 7th position there. Dopey Lemons is 8th. Dylan is in 9th position. We're on board Dylan at the moment. And 10th position is Potstuff on 70 points then. Gordo on 13 points is 18th. Danny on 13 points is 19th. And Maldonado is 20th on 1 point now. But of course, she only started full time last week, so maybe that's a bit harsh of me to say. Cameron's gone fast there, 3 tenths of a second in front of Dylan, who is second one then in the Constructors' Championship. We have got, goodness me, I can't breathe tonight. In the Constructors' Championship, we have got AlphaTauri on 75 points. They cannot win the championship tonight then. 300th of a second in front of Cameron Racer is Ultimate Beast at the moment then, so he's top of the timesheets then. Only one qualifying session here tonight. Haas are in third position then. They are, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get higher than that then, because Aston Martin are about 3 points points away from being out of reach. Equaz has gone fast as the first drive to be into the 1-7s tonight. Mercedes in 4th position and 96 points behind Haas. Haas are kind of on no man's land then. But then McLaren only 14 points away from the Mercedes. Alpine are only 24 points away from the McLaren team. Red Bull 35 points away from the Alpine team. Then it gets close. It is 3 points separates the Ferrari and the Red Bull. And there's 2 points separates the Williams and the Ferrari. Alfa Romeo is on 82 points currently at the bottom of the Constructors' Championship at this moment. In terms of qualifying then, yes, it is 14 pole positions in 19 qualifying for Fangio. Last time Fangio was on pole position was actually Japan, where it was Ultimate Beast. Can Ultimate Beast get his 3rd pole position of the season? He is joint on 2 pole positions there with Nigel then, as we haven't had many other pole sitters, have we? Pot Stuff has got into a beautiful 2nd position there. Casal has gone 5th fastest there. Good 7D. Dopey Lemons is 7th fast at the moment there. VTOD is 10th at the moment, and then VTOD then in the 2nd Ferrari. Smithy Almighty then coming out of Young Cow as well, now heading up the hill there. Evening all. Serious Rush saying hello sir from Gordo as well. Good evening to you both, and leave my ass alone. Serious Rush was saying, and I can't help myself, Serious Rush, as we're down into the centre S of turn 1 and 2. As I've just mentioned then, already spun coming out of the pits, Gordo has said. So unfortunately, Gordo, don't worry about that, Gordo, you're not alone. We've had a couple of other drivers then that have spun as well. Farfus started his lap as well, and Farfus only 2 DNFs this season, which unfortunately have come in Japan and USA. Farf, since the Belgian Grand Prix, is only wrapped up 2 points. That is why he's down in 5th position. Love the humble from Farf. He's only wrapped up 2 points since the Belgian Grand Prix round 14. As I've mentioned, he's had a nightmare second half of the season. Farfast. It's been absolutely appalling now for the man who was very comfortably in 4th and challenging for 3rd for a bit of time, but lately he's just not been at the race there. But he has scored points last week in Mexico. He's 9th position in Mexico, Farf was. Hopefully, though, that could be a start of a renaissance there for the final couple of races of the season, because he's got to try and keep in front of Ultimate Beast, who has been on quite a run of his own right then. Of course, Ultimate Beast out there. I think he won the race in USA, but am I looking at that right? I don't think I am I? Goodness me, hang on a minute, let me lean forward. No, he came 3rd in USA and he came 5th in the Japanese Grand Prix, but as Farf goes 5th fast, about a beast a couple position in front of him, so we're going to keep an eye on that one. We're also keeping an eye on whether Nigel could be crowned the world champion here today. Hopefully someone has got their calculator out for me later on tonight. So as it stands, and the championship is like this. I think that if Nigel outscores Equaz by 15 points here tonight, 15-1-5, then he will be crowned champion of silver. That's my maths. I must say, that's taken me 2 hours to work that out, so that's probably wrong as well, but hopefully you guys are mathematicians in the comments then. What's the weather like, Gordo is saying then? I've heard that Farf hosting the session, so we are expecting rain certainly sometime tonight, and I think we are expecting rain in the Grand Prix itself. The sprint seems okay at this moment then. And yes, and I think Gordo has agreed with me, luckily enough. Maldonado has gone into 10th moment. That's where she finished last week, I think it was, in Mexico. Eric, Nigel, let's go for pole and the championship then. I don't think Nigel's come out on track yet. He's still chilling in the pits. A lovely drift from Maldonado. I think that she's been watching a bit of the Fast 10 preview that was very much all over the Mexico program, F1 Sky Sports program last night, wasn't there? With Vin Diesel and I can't remember his co-star's name now. I don't watch I must admit, the last Fast and Furious film I watched was Tokyo Drift, which was, I think it was the 3rd in the series, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Fast and Furious, but I did like Tokyo Drift. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the other ones personally. But that's just me. But anyway, that's just me then. Right then. Or it's Fangio. Unfortunately, he's not racing here tonight, unfortunately. And you're just on board then. Not in real life, it's not saying about the weather then. But if you did want the weather in real life, Gordo and Serious Mushroom, it is absolutely a deluge outside. And it's also 12 degrees as well, which is 2 degrees colder than where Gordo is up in Scotland. So, goodness me, usually it's your way around, isn't it? But I've even got my ALR sweatshirt on again tonight. Shame it's pink, though, because you're going to see my sweat sweat patches at the end of this one. I'm sure of it. 8 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Here is maybe the champion-elect of Nigel. We're going to just move away from Nigel for the minute because here is Speed. Is it Key or Kai, do you reckon? But here is Speed nonetheless, and in the Haas area, he's replacing Fanjo tonight. Then in car 25, love the helmet design as he comes out of the horseshoe. Or is it the Ducks build? I can't remember. Camera Racer's just gone second fastest. Speed's invalidated his time, unfortunately, so we're going to stick with Danny, who's currently in the relegation zone at the moment for the Mercedes team, and it looks good. And if he doesn't sort that out in the next 4 races or so, he could be driving in bronze for next season. Equaz has gone fast at the moment. Equaz doesn't want the championship to be over yet. Oh my gosh, there's some amazing helmet designs on here tonight, isn't it? I absolutely love it. Fantastic. Now coming out of Young Cow, as my laptop is really struggling at the moment. Coming out of Young Cow then, and over the grid hatch as well. 15 turns on this course there, but you've got to ignore the last one. And Danny goes 9th fastest in the Mercedes. Ultimate Beast has just elevated himself up into second at the moment. What about Nigel across the line? Nigel goes 3rd fastest then as it stands. If they finish the race like that, Nigel will not be champion here tonight, I think, anyway. Kai as in I, thank you very much. Yeah, so serious question there once again, and help me pronounce the driver's name then. Where's Sarah Messer on the first 2 seasons of Gold then? I must admit though, since season 3 of ALR, Sarah Messer's always been in the comments and in every single stream almost, there or thereabouts. Gordo going is 70th at the moment then, and he is in the Alpine at the moment, and DRS right on the money then for Gordo as he comes over the grid hatchings as well, and goes 16th fast, displaces Todd, who is down in 17th position moment. Todd is usually one of the more quicker drivers in Silver, but this season has not really come to fruition now for the Ferrari driver, has he? As into the pits comes Equaz, who's currently on pole position. Ultimate Beast is alongside him on row 1, then row 2 is Nigel and Camera Racer. Camera Racer has had the speed, but unfortunately in the race he has come a cropper, hasn't he? Boxed up Pottsov coming down at the dive before coming into the junction at half a second up on the second split time here. If you just joined us, welcome. If you sorry, I've just read about Everton has beaten Brighton 5-1. What's going on there? Pot stuff! It's just gone 3rd fast as well. Lovely stuff indeed. I was just shocked to see Everton beat Brighton 5-1. What was that all about? Well, that's a shame. I mean, personally, I would have liked to see Everton go down and get relegated then, but that's because I'm a Liverpoolian kind of thing. Obviously not, if you could tell from my accent, I'm nowhere near Liverpool. I'm more of a Forester butt, and drive me tractor. We've got Smithy Almighty currently 15th at the moment. I think this is in that there for Smithy Almighty because he's run out of deployment already. Serge Mushroom has never missed a stream as he is a nerd then. I can't say. I think I've missed a couple of streams to be fair. I didn't watch Silver live last week as I had to watch it. I think just before Bronze, but I do know I've missed a couple of streams or two with the 100% League, for example, because Wednesdays is not usually the best night for me. As usually I'm working late. Nigel win, then Equals, then Beast, then Becca driver of the day, just because yes indeed, especially if I'm doing driver of the day, is that as Gordo's off the circuit, as he does a 3-point turn out of the centre S there, by the looks of things. There used to be grass there, and they used to have the barrier much more closer to the track, as I sound very old then saying it during my day. Kind of thing then. Of course, tonight then we haven't got as much of the rush as we had in Gold last night. Of course, we had single shot qualifying, then sprint, and then the Grand Prix itself. Tonight though is very much more about the short quali, followed by the sprint and the race itself. And it's our last sprint of the season. In terms of the sprints for Silver, then of course Gold has had 3 different sprint race winners in 3 races, and it is the same for at the moment it's the same for Silver as well, as we've had 2 different sprint race winners of Ultimate Beast and Fanjo. So we're going to get a new different sprint race winner tonight, potentially. Well, here's one of them now, and that is that Ultimate Beast. Then going to the line to start us up. We're going to stick with Camera Racer for now in the Ferrari. Gordo and Smith and White have done 2 laps on those soft tyres. I wonder if they're saving some for the sprint or maybe the race itself. Sprint, of course, if you're new to Formula 1, if you're new to the sprint concept, then which has only been introduced in the ALR this season, V Todd's had a shocking qualifying, unfortunately, down in 17th position now for the Ferrari driver, whilst his teammate Camero is a 10th second up on his personal best and could potentially get in front of Nigel at the moment. Now, the man who's going for the championship. I didn't comment in the one on my laptop broke, remember. I sent you a message saying I was watching still. Yeah, I think you sent it on the on PlayStation, didn't you? If I'm not very much mistaken there. For such much, I must say I'm really rubbish over returning messages on PlayStation. Now, even if I have the app, I read it and then I don't reply to it. It's cool. Well, I do in the real world as well. To be honest, I'm quite bad at messaging back there. But I never do it. Nastily or anything like that. I'm just really bad at forgetting because I read it, then I'm kind of doing something else. I.e., watching Formula 1, or maybe I don't know, eating or something like that. There, coming down. Here comes Casal there in 9th position there. And Casal, who had a bit of a difficult start to the championship, has really come on song in the last couple of races. So this is 16th start tonight in silver, this season anyway. 16th start tonight for Casal tonight as he coming over the coming out of the final turn and over the grid hatch as well, hugging the inside and going 8 fast as Casal does. Lovely stuff indeed. Then 2 minutes ago in this qualifying session there, Ultimate Beast looks like he's had an extra warm-up lap there. So I'm wondering, let's see if that pays dividends. And Craig R, Reflections, Danny all starting a lap as well. Maldonado is also down the bottom of the hill as well. What about Beast then, as he is now into the infield section now? Anyways, to answer the question for dry sprint, and signs say that it's going to be a wet race, but when it shows full time, there's no. When it shows the time, there's no rain apparently. Ooh, okay, interesting stuff. But we had a sprinkling of rain towards the end of last night's race, but we was expecting it to be a full wet race last night, or a majority of the wet race, and it didn't come till very late on. Into the pits comes Beast then. As Beast called it a day then, he may have done then. So Beast is not going to be on pole position side, and Equals has not been on pole position at all this season. So can he break that? Can he break that tradition here tonight? Then we're going to find out. Then here comes Manada across the line to go for one more bite of the cherry. Can she do it? Casal, who I think is out of time here. He's also out of he is out of time there. Unfortunately, Reflections coming across the line to start his lap as well, but he's almost unfortunately he's not improved. Then Danny up into 10th position now. What about Dopey Lemons across the line and going 8 fast? I said Aston Martin behind. Who is that? I think that must be Equals, the only Aston Martin in this qualifying session. Craig R has nipped himself into the top 10. AlphaTauri of Nigel's just started across the line as well, as has Farf as well. One more shot then at gold here for these AlphaTauri team then. I'm looking for a Red Bull. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for Pot Stuff. Pot Stuff is started as well, and here we go. This is going to be a fantastic end to the qualifying. Irvine on his final run as well. Irvine's got a lot of deployment. Alpine of Gordo, and Gordo is also going to be last one across the line, I think Gordo is, and he may be, and here we go then. It's all or nothing now. Smithy. Oh, Welsh Ronaldo, 3/10 a second up, but unfortunately she's on the grass there. Will not find much purchase on the grass. Dylan's going to be last one across the line. I apologise. Maldonado out of qualified unfortunately, so she's going to be 14th on the grid there. Also Casal is coming into the pits as well. Reflections also in the pits, and who is on a quick lap? Danny's not on a quick lap either. I think the next man across the line is Equals, who's 6,300 a second up then. Yellow flag out of Juncal. It's Maldonado pole position again now. It's a 6.66. Goodness me, is that an omen for Equals? And he's currently on pole position there. What about Nigel? Can he improve? He's on the front row of the grid there alongside the man who could stall his championship's hope here tonight then. Equals pole for the first time this season. Nigel's alongside him on row 1. What about Pot Stuff? Pot Stuff stays 4th in the end there. Oh goodness gracious me. Dylan there coming out of Magulio. We got one of the Haas cars just about to finish off his Irvine's up to 5th. Magnificent time then. Speed Kai is unfortunately not improved. Farf is in 14th position. A terrible qualifying for Farf down near the back of the field. And Gordo has finished in 17th position. Now I'm looking for Dylan. Where is he? There he is. And Dylan goes 6th fastest, but it's Equals pole position for the first time this season, the Aston Martin. And he will be overjoyed with that result. Magnificent stuff indeed for Equals. And, oh goodness me, magnificent season for Equals. Brilliant stuff indeed. Oh, magnificent into that qualified session. Fantastic stuff indeed there. That is also Aston Martin's first pole position of the season as well. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And that is the grid to start the sprint race, of course. And then these finishing positions of the grid, the sprint, I should say, will then determine the start order for the Grand Prix itself. And that's Equals' first pole position of his career as well. Magnificent stuff indeed. In silver, anyway. And there it is, and a 10th and a half in the end there. Fantastic stuff indeed there. It's all good to be. We've also got Serious Motion. Cheers, Gordo. Typical of this game then. Brabbit, good shout for the race win. I'm thinking, and get in. Equals had lost 7/10 of a second in the last sector alone. Oh, goodness me then. It's Becca. Stunning then. Thank you, Becca then. As, that's her contribution for the comments tonight, I would say. And now we get on to the race itself then. So this is the sprint then. So quick reminder then. So that the sprint order, starting order, is exactly how they finish qualifying, in the order of qualifying, and then this sets the Grand Prix start for the race itself. But you do get points for the sprint. If you win the sprint, you get 8 points. If you finish 8th, you get 1 point. If you get the cut of my jib and all that kind of good stuff. But 20 seconds go to the start of the formation lap here tonight in the sprint. And if you've just joined us and wondering where your usual composed commentator is, he's flown out to Germany then. So I think he's got some work. I think he's on tour for work, or maybe he's just having a good old jolly in Germany. Oh, the weather's better than what it is over here, man. It's absolutely appalling outside. Every time I look outside, it's very murky indeed. The only good sun we did have was yesterday, wasn't it? Unfortunately, I was kind of bedridden most yesterday because I had a bit too much indulgence and from my friend's coronation. It wasn't the king. Right, 12 laps in around here. Let's go for the grid, shall we? Everyone on medium tyres, apart from Gordo, who is on the soft tyres then. As Serious Mushroom not impressed with the pit lane lineup there, is a couple of the mechanics are merging into each other then, and yes, very interesting indeed then. Right, Equals, a beautiful, it's a Brazilian inspired crash helmet there for Equals. I love it. Paul, starting first then for the sprint race is Equals. Nigel alongside him on row 1. Remember that the sprint race, he cannot win the championship in the sprint race, but he can win the championship in the Grand Prix itself. Of course, so I've got to remember about that, actually, because I forgot about the points in the sprint. But, of course, so Nigel could potentially win this championship here tonight. Beast in 3rd position. Hot Stuff in 4th. Irvine in 5th position with Dylan in 6th. Camera Racer 7th with Brabbit in 8th position. That is Serious Mushroom's choice for the Grand Prix win itself. Not the sprint race, but the Grand Prix win, unless it's for the sprint as well. But by the way, because Serious Mushroom said it after his form last night, goodness me, I'll be a bit concerned if I was you, Brabbit. Of course, I'm joking. Dopey in 9th position. 10th is Cassad. Craig Ireland, Reflections 12th. Danny in 13th. 14th is Favre. Marnado in 15th. Smithy in 16th. Gordo 17th on soft tyres. He's going to be quick, and then he's going to be quick out of the gates then, but I think that he's going to have to really look after those tyres, isn't he? Speed Kai in 18th and 19th position. Now I get there in the end. Danny Murphy in 20th position. Dan Murphy in 20th position as well. Right then, let's get it going, shall we? You couldn't be lucky to have you, Sean, then. I wish he would then. Come on, Reflections. Fresh Muppet saying, by the way, magnificent name. Hungry? Not the race. Serious Much say not the race. And red lights are on then. No, it's the Brazilian Grand Prix Fresh Muff. And out we go! And it's a good start for Equals. Not a very good start for Nigel. But luckily, there is a left-hander. There's a right-hander. No, it's a left-hander to turn one. So Nigel had the line then. And he had the position. There's 2 cars off in the background of Dopey. And I think it was our Mercedes. May have been then. But Dopey is off the circuit. It was Favre, I think, then. And Dopey's dropped all the way down then. And Nigel's off the circuit. He's lost the whole of the wing here. Oh my goodness me. I was looking at the back there. and Nigel's off the circuit, and goodness gracious me, and that is not good at all. Then unfortunately for Nigel, and if he finishes where he stumped, Mano's off as well at the top of the hill. It's a messy start here. Reflections is off the circuit as well, and goodness gracious me, and that's far from Dopey Lemons having a scrap here, and here they come. Nigel's got damage as well. Goodness gracious me, then, and now we go into and we now go into the Ducks build then, and now down at Magulio the dive, far back up into 16th, 15th position there. Here comes Speed, Kai I should say. Oh, he's gone on the curb slightly, but Dopey Lemons is through and up into 16th position there. So Airquad set the fast on the race. Nigel's got damage. Nigel's got major damage, and he's going to have to come in the pits. And as I mentioned, this is of course where you finish the race. You'll start the where you start the Grand Prix, where you finish this one there. At the inside goes Speed Kai. Dopey Lemons down in 17th position now as he is retaking his place. Nigel in the pits. Absolute nightmare start for the champion-elect potentially here tonight. Murphy's got past V Todd, moving south from the 13th position. Has Murphy with the most Driver of the Day awards in ALR history, I think. Anyway, he's up to 13th position now. Love the helmet design, by the way, from Murphy. Fantastic. Fresh Murph, I thought you meant thought your stomach rumbled. It probably did, to be honest. I'm always hungry, Fresh Murph. I can't get enough of any food here tonight. Equus living life at the moment now. Yes, he's leading the way down. He's got 5 tenths a second over himself, and also a Beast. Remember, Beast has already won a sprint race earlier on this season, and Fresh Pot Stuff, I should say, has got a 3-second penalty at this moment in time then. And goodness me, it's an absolute nightmare there for Nigel, right down to the back of the field. He's going to need a safety car if he wants to get himself back in this one. Gordo on soft tires has made his way up into a splendid 10th position moment, but he is going to struggle. V Todd's got no straight line speed at all. What's going on with that Ferrari tonight then? He had a nightmare qualifying. V Todd is a very good racer. Remember, this is, I think that I think this is 68th start tonight in silver, but he is having an absolute nightmare race so far, V Todd is, and dropping down the order, and here comes Speed Kai, Smithy Almighty, and Gordo is also going wheel to wheel as well. Smithy dropping down into the 11th position there. It's the top 8 that gets put. Oh, and look at how he's going on the outside there, Smithy there. But Gordo is not going to be frightened off the road with that. And Danny up into 11th position momentarily before dropping down to 12th. Smithy will have the inside there, and he is trying to look there. Murphy right behind Smithy as well. And now coming into sorry, I've read what Serious Mushroom said. And Danny up into 11th position. 12th is Smithy. 13th is Dan Murphy, with Speed Kai in 14th position at the moment. Yellow flags. Irvine, who's had a great qualifying, is off the circuit. That's where Gurman went off last night, and he comes back on the circuit, but that's a nightmare for Irvine, and that is a big blow indeed. Lap 3 has been completed in this one then. Down to centre S once again then, and we've got Danny, who's, I'm missing all these overtakes, shocking behaviour by myself. Gordo now up into, oh, Danny's back. Oh, is he had to get the place back through, do you reckon? Smithy Almighty's got a queue of cars behind him then, with Murphy all over the back now. My headset is falling off. Sean, calm down, sit down, son. And now we have got Murphy going up the inside then into turn 4. Then Murphy's having a look there. He's got position. He's got position, and he is through. And now we've also got Speed. Kai also going through as well. And he is through. He's up into 12th position. He is lovely. Magnificent stuff indeed there. My headset keeps falling off. What's going on here? 1 second. I just set the fast lap of the race out. I don't think you get a point for fast lap in the sprint then. Smithy Almighty is in 13th position now, as V Todd struggling with not only with speed in that Ferrari, but also struggling in general. He's having a nightmare qualifying and a nightmare sprint race so far. He's really struggling then as going through that. As a serious question, yeah, muff on the mind, potentially. Coming across the line then, lap 5 out of 12 here. Ultimate Beast is all over the back now. Potstuff is the only driver with a penalty so far on board the McLaren. Love the helmet from Beast. You can say that's a beastly helmet then. Irvine reset to track. Serious Russian was saying that. Unfortunately, I think that is against the rules. I think it's Article 2.8 then of resetting to track then. So I'm sure that is the reason why he didn't reset to track. Oh, and who's that? Danny is off and got into the wall. And goodness me, that is a blow for the Mercedes team. And there's Alfa Romeo just also just going wide as well. I think that was Maldonado. And now Danny dropping all the way down to 18th position. I don't think he's damaged the car. Irvine dropping down to 7th position. I don't think Danny's damaged the car, you know. I think he might be okay. Nigel's still 20 seconds off back then. He still needs a safety car in this one then. Oh, goodness me. Hold your nose and blow and inflate your head then. To be honest, I would do that, but my head's got a lot of empty space already. Goodness me. And to be honest, I might need to. Or maybe I just need to get some smaller headphones. Murphy now all over the back of Gordo. Gordo's soft tire gamble has worked a treat, but we have just come up to half distance in this sprint race. And unfortunately, I do feel that those soft tires skip speed, Kai. What happened? He was going very quick there, and I'm not sure if he got caught up by Gordo or not then. Gordo back up the inside, but Murphy is through. Up into 9th position then. Speed Kai flying at the moment now. Gordo is struggling to get on the parallel. I think those soft tires are starting to fall off the cliff, you know. Lovely shot, but that's the wrong shot I want. This is the one then, and Gordo's going to have to defend it. He's going to have to get punchy there. Oh, down the hill, down into turn 4, and he's kept the position just about then. Speed Kai would like to have got past before the infield section here, because Gordo, I think, is going to be very slow here. No disrespect to Gordo, it's those soft tires that have gone off the it's just gone off ever so slightly. And as we go into the tight infield section as well, goodness gracious me then. And now flicking it up into the second half of the infield section as well. No retirements in the sprint race just yet then. Equals leads with Beast in second position. Equals has done a great job so far to keep in front of Beast, because Beast has had the DRS for majority of the road for all the race apart from the first 3 laps set. Accelerated up the hill now, and we've got Maldonado who's, oh no, and she's gone off at the dive. Yeah, she's got off. Grosjean crashed there horrifically in 2012. Gordo is through. Is there going to be a safety car here? This will help Nigel no end. Far off the other AlphaTauri has moved up into 12th position. Smithy down into 13th there. And the car luckily has been cleared from Maldonado. There's a big gap between V Todd and V Todd and Nigel, so the Marshall got rid of that. But Maldonado off down in the dive, unfortunately, and that is a big blow indeed. Craig Hart is the final driver then with that point then here tonight in the sprint race. But of course, Murphy is about 4.5 seconds back with just 5 laps to go. That's quite a lot of time to make up there for Murphy, isn't it? I think the Gordo is now going to really struggle, because look, he's got a queue behind him now of Dopey Lemons all over the back of Smith and Whitey. Dopey had an issue at the beginning there, and Farfar very keen to get past the the Alpine now. I got it right for a top. There's too many cars beginning with A at the moment. It's now an F1 then. Hopefully someone will change their name soon. Maybe the AlphaTauri might change their name to a different maybe one of the new entries then perhaps. Oh, Farf gone wide into young Cal, but that shouldn't hurt him too much there. Well, actually it might there, because Smithy is looking very intrigued now on the back of the AlphaTauri in the Williams car. Smithy doing a lot of harvesting as well. Farf is through, passes Gordo, and Gordo there looking like he's run out of straight line speed. Remember, V Todd struggled with straight line speed earlier on this Grand Prix as well. Down into the center S there, but Gordo is back through that, and he's really hung him out to dry there, hasn't he? He's helped his teammate Dopey Lemons there. That is a cracking bit of teamwork, and now he is through Speed Kai is up into 9th position. He is flying out there at the moment. Murphy is lost out, but Murphy is trying to get back past now then, and he's all over the back rim, looking this way, not that way though, and he is going to have to stick behind Speed Kai at the moment then. Gordo down in 13th position now, and unfortunately the soft tires then are just dropping off the pace now ever so slightly. No, I meant don't worry, reset for the race, said Sirius Rush. Oh, thank you very much, Sirius Rush. I read that completely wrong. Shocking behaviour by myself. That's what you get for failing English first time around. Anyway, I did pass second time around, believe it or not, but just about anyway. But most of that year we was watching the new James Bond film. Casal going up into 6th position as well, which once again, Casal is really starting to perform well on the final stage of this championship. He's doing a great job as of late. Casal, I was very impressed with the Alfa Romeo drive. Really adapted nicely. Smith and Mighty's got past Gordo, and but he's gone wide into the center S there. Gordo has got has unfortunately got no defense left on those soft tires, and now just tumbling down the order. Speed Kai is now 4.3 seconds back from Craig Hart. It's not enough, I don't think, with 4 laps to go in this race. And who's that? Dopey Lemons looking into the back of Farf. Farf having a bit of a miserable time in the second half of this season, isn't he? Nigel is still down in 90 position. Hats off for Nigel for sticking back with it, and now reflections on the outside, but Irvine's power pass, and Irvine, who made a mistake here on this race, has dropped down into 15th position, unfortunately for Irvine, which is where he's going to start in the Grand Prix itself. Then as the top four are now starting to condense up. Potstuff has got a 3-second penalty, which means he's going to drop down to 4th, maybe even lower than that. As the battle for the lead is starting to intensify on lap 10 out of 12 here. Of course, this is just a sprint race here tonight. Just checking if Farf has turned the safety car on. That's all. Welsh Madonna is saying that you can't park there, Becca. It was a good parallel parking, I thought. Then why is Gordo's on soft? Good question. I like the braveness though. Is what Maldonado is saying. Then Maldonado will be starting 20th on the grid then for the race itself. Unfortunately, it's a shame we can't do pit lane starts here, isn't there? Because I'm wondering if Todd may have done something similar, because he's struggling with straight line speed. He's also struggling with he also spent the infield as well. So something's definitely gone wrong there for VTOD tonight. It's such a shame there as well for VTOD struggling here tonight. And we're just watching Equals who with Beast, Potstuff and Dylan. And as it stands at the moment then, so Equals is going to extend its advantage, open the gap up there to a further 8 points from 63 points to 71, which means, which means that now Nigel will just only have to outscore Equals by 6 points then. So Equals has really helped himself in this Brazilian Grand Prix there to keep the championship going. So Reflections is just about keeping going as well, but he has had issues there. Gordo in 14th position. The soft tire gamble hasn't worked out at all for Gordo, has it? Unfortunately, and coming down the hill then into turn forwards again. Back on board with Beast at the moment. Dylan has dropped off slightly there. Yes, but Beast is getting all tied up and squirrely at the exit there, taking too much curb on the outside potentially. A lot of harvesting is going on. I wonder if there is one more attempt and an overtake down into the centre S potentially for Ultimate Beast, who would take a second career sprint race win if he can get past Equals. Otherwise, this is Equals' first sprint race win, which means it is 3 for 3 and like it was in gold. Camaro's off the circuit. Oh no, with just 1 lap to go. Camaro's on course with some major good points then. Farfet, oh goodness me, then he's come back on then right in the heart of the Farf. And Smithy's off the circuit as well. I wonder if that was a distraction there. Lap 11 of this race. Smithy dropping down the order, and now Equals is going to have to defend then. Here comes Beast then, and we're on board of Beast now. Is he too far back? He's going to have a sniff. He's going to have a look then. There's only 1 point for the sprint race win, and for the for the sprint race win between first and second there. But he will start on the front. He will start first on the grid then for the race itself. He's got another dose of DRS then coming down into turn 4. Smooth on Mighty's recovery, but down into 17th position there. Heartbreak for the Williams driver, who was flirting with 12th, 11th and 10th for most of this race. As we accelerate away and up into the midfield of the section as well. There's yellow flags as Casal. Is he out of fuel? What's happened to Casal? Let's get the telemetry on. And yes, he's out of fuel. Casal said he is struggling and he is pulling over. Casal said, I think that that's a shame there. He's voted 12 laps, but Casal has thrown away 3 points, and Craigar has had a great drive up into 6th position here tonight, and McLaren are going to be loving this. And down into the dive pad, Casal's got 10-second penalty, so he's going to be right to the back of the field now. V Todd is spun as well, as him and Smith from Mighty were fighting for 17th and 18th position. Unfortunately, V Todd has come off the worst there. Nigel's still down at 19th position, but he might get in front there. Equals wins the first ever sprint race of his career. He wins the Brazilian sprint race then. Farfa's got past Casal, as Casal is just limping home now. What a shame now for himself. Look at Reflections, Gordo and Irvine. This is another position on the grid which could be crucial as well. And here they come then. Casal is just in front. There is Casal, and what a shame now for Casal then, underfueling the car, and that didn't help him in the end. Look at this. Irvine just about pinched out 30th position away now from Reflections. What an end to that one. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And Nigel then, who has been hats off to Nigel for keeping going then. Fantastic stuff indeed. So what's the points difference now between Equals and hang on a minute, between Equals and Nigel then. Hang on, let me get my old calculator out and I'll have a quick look then. The points difference is now 55 points then between Equals and Nigel, which means I still think that Nigel can just about... Nigel needs to win now if he wants to clinch the World Championship, and Equals basically has to finish, I think, 7th or lower. So that is how it stands in the championship. So I don't think that well, stranger things have happened in the world of ALR Formula 1, but it is going to be very difficult now then for Nigel. I still think he's going to get a good result tonight, but I don't think the championship is now up for grabs. Equals won that race with Beast in second position. Beast was following all the way home, wasn't he? Dylan in third position with Potstuff 4th, Brabbit in 5th, Craig R, great drive in 6th position, 7th is Speed, Akai, 8th position was Murphy, driver of the day for Craig R and at Speed, Kai and Murphy, brilliant stuff, I've just added 3 there. 4th and Dopey Lemons, 10th and 11th position, 12th is Camaro, with Gordo 13th for Irvine in 13th, Reflections, Danny Casal, Smithy, V Todd, Nigel and Maldonado. That is the grid then, fantastic stuff indeed. Right then, as don't use sauce, Becca, hards or mediums. Becca said thank you. If I win, credit goes to you for that one. Deal, laugh out loud. What's the point? Oh, I've read that one. That race, that drag race was ridiculous. Dan starting 8th, he'll get a nosebleed then. Also, why was I on softs? Why not? Haha. Just some track tape, sir. Must say my you know my master's appalling. That's why I've got a big old spreadsheet in front of me, but unfortunately my laptop keeps dying. We have got fair play Gordo, worth a shot then. I could hardly turn go. I can't see because of this blooming heart in the side of the stream. I can't read your comment yet, Gordo. Someone else needs to comment first. Right, let's get on with the race, shall we? We've got 22 seconds then for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix as well then. So fantastic stuff indeed then, as oh, it's Southampton against Nottingham Forest tonight. Fantastic. That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? But I think we'll probably be able to watch the second half of that one then here tonight. Of course, but we are expecting rain in this race. We're like last night as well. Brazil has had a history of rain-affected Grand Prix, haven't we? 96 comes to mind straight away, doesn't it? Damon Hill he's never been... Damon Hill, I would say that one of his weaknesses is definitely driving in the wet. But, however, he had one of his greatest drives was in the 94 Japanese Grand Prix. And the other one was... of course, was actually the Brazilian Grand Prix 96, in my opinion. There is crazy conditions there, but Damon Hill drove a superlative race. And, of course, 2008 as well, where it's raining in at the end, and that incredible... Is that Glock going through? Is that Glock, I should say, then, between Hamilton and Massa for the championship. And, of course, 2012 as well, one of the best Brazilian Grand Prix ever, where the championship is on the line between Alonso and Vettel, then, where it's rain, dry, wet, where it's raining, not raining. Some drivers on inters, other drivers on slicks. It was an incredible race there. Before it did finish under the safety car after the rest crashed, unfortunately, with Vettel finishing 6th on that day and clinching at the championship there. I could hardly run at the end, mind you that it doesn't like me. Bob, there you go, thank you very much, sir, especially of course as yeah, I can't. I got this heart in the bottom end of the screen when I've got the YouTube app open, and unfortunately, when someone writes a really long sentence down below, I cannot see it very well. Equals pole is starting from the front, and that's his first ever pole position of his career and season in ALR Silver, and at right time as well. Alongside him, his ultimate beast on row 1. Then we got Dylan in third position, and had no penalties in the sprint race, which meant he was elevated up to third with Potstuff down to 4th. Brabbit in 5th. Craig R, great driving 6th. I love that. 7th position is Speed Kai. 8th position is Murphy there, as Sirius Rush says, he's going to get a nosebleed. 4th in 9th position, Dopey Lemons there, had a good qualifying, but unfortunately the sprint race came crashing down, and camera race the same as well. He's down in 11th position now. Gordo's gamble on soft tires really helped him, I think, in the end there, because he did elevate himself up to 12th there. 13th is Irvine, 14th Reflections, Danny in 15th, Casal on soft tires in 16th position, interesting choice there. Smithy 17th, Vitod 18th, Nigel also on soft in 19th position, Maldonado on hard tires in 20th position, 20 cars then, medium and soft spread out throughout the field then. Smith and Whitey has not parked in his correct location. Right, here we go then for the Brazilian Grand Prix, round 21 of the World Championship. Nigel needs to win this race now if he has any chance of claiming the championship. Equals is turning, making sure that his steering arm's working, and the lights are on then, and we're go here in Brazil. Equals there got a good run down to 1 there, but this time his Beast is on the medium tires. Contact between Beast Pass and Equals, and then Equals is just about fending Beast off then, as they've all got away this time through and safe and sound. I think Murphy's up into 6th position already, as Craig R's had a difficult start. Gordon down the order as well, got 3 abreast between Dopey Lemons and I think that's Nigel as well, who's out off in the background. Reflections and Smithfield Mighty's off then. Nigel's up in the 12th position already, and it's a VSC then, as there is collision at the back then. Smithfield Mighty's got no wing. Reflection seems to be okay. Nigel is up into 12th position, 7 positions there before he even reached turn 3. Magnificent stuff indeed there for Nigel. Down 5 positions is Reflections, down 3 is Smithfield Mighty. Unfortunately then up 4 is Far, and they must have launch control on that Alpha Tauri. Goodness gracious me, because they have flown up the order. 5 positions for Far, 7 positions for Nigel. Magnificent. They had a nightmare sprint, did the Alpha Tauri, but they have put that to rest. Search Mushroom, ooh, it's looking cloudy. Right, VSC, they all have to adhere to the Delta on their steering wheel. So of course, they are not going to. So they don't want to go over that Delta just yet. Then, and then of course we'll be going green again. So it's basically like everyone's got their pit lane speed limiter on at the moment, isn't there? Until we get the green for go. Not going just yet. Then, so Nigel, soft tire gamble has worked a treat so far. But of course, I think he would have liked a full safety car coming to the pits. Throw on a set of hard or medium tyres. Into the pits comes Smithfield Mighty there. Smithfield would have liked to have a safety car as well. We're green and we're back racing, and unfortunately Smithfield Mighty doesn't get the full advantage as well. Craig are dropping like a stone in this one so far, but he is on the harder tyres along with Equals, Brabbit, as Camaro Racer is having a look there. Sorry, he's trying to defend there. Nigel is fighting with Camaro and giving him a bit of a push up the hill then, but Nigel is having 2 11th position now there. Passes Camaro Racer, and now then, as we mentioned, he does need a race win then, because at the very least, in 2nd position, only 18 points then is not enough for the championship. He needs the race win, and he needs Equals to score 7, I think it's 8 or lower, to be honest, if he wants to keep himself in the championship. But it still can be done then, because Nigel's now up into 10th position already in this one. Dopey Lemons on the medium tires. He needs to make almost a swapperoo then, and that's going to entice Nigel. Casal also at 14th position, up into 14th as well, after starting on the soft compound tyres. Equals is taking the lead, and Beast is taking the lead. They go down into turn 1 then. Also, I think I said someone else, and Murphy is past Speed Kai. DRS has now been enabled then, of course, as V-Todd having a nightmare race at the moment. And Nigel up into 10th position. Dopey Lemons there is struggling. He almost had a swapper a minute ago, didn't he, down into Yung Sao, and now, oh my goodness me, Casal is going forward into turn 12. He has done it, you know, and up into 12th position now. Dopey Lemons had a swapperoo a minute ago, didn't he? And I think he's had enough as well. Nigel will only get 10 laps out with without a safety car is what Serious Mushroom was saying, and I can't see the rest of that, but I'm assuming that's what he meant. I'll reread that comment in a minute. Nigel then, who is on board, Nigel who is now all over the hard shot Craig on it. As Serious Mushroom mentioned, he will only go get 10 laps or so out as he's on the outside of Craig into the dive. Nigel 9th position and already in this race, and fantastic performance so far from Nigel after a nightmare sprint race, but he is now pushing on, is he? As of course, as Ultimate Beast set the fast after the race, Ultimate Beast has already got a couple of race wins this season. I'll find out the correct tally in just a jiffy. Farf and Dylan on the fighting into the centre. So Farf, look, he's contact with Dylan there, and at speed, is up into 4th position there. Farf is back up into 3rd as well, and I think there's a Farf maybe in a bit of trouble with the stewards on that one. And now there is a look at this, and Brabbit is having a look at this. 4 cars in there, so close to each other. Dylan is still in 5th position, but hopefully I haven't got damage. Brabbit down in 7th position with Murphy in 8th as well, and I've just kicked over my bottle, and that is not good at all. Luckily the top's on, otherwise that would have been. And who's that then? I thought someone spun there, but Speed Kai up into 6th position there. Farfis made his way in the 4th position there. Very interesting as Farfis nerfed Dylan out the way there. But great stuff so far from both AlphaTauri's who weren't in the top 10 at the start of this race, and all of a sudden they're 4th and 9th on the grid. Fantastic stuff indeed. Gap between Favre and Potts the podium place is currently 3 seconds at this moment, and the field spread around here is quite large, but I think that Nigel's going to be very happy to be up into 9th position already in this one. Ultimate Beast at the fast out of the race. He's already broke out the DRS of Equaz at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Beast. That is Dylan and Favre once again then, and this time Dylan is back past as well. Look at these trainer cars there, and goodness gracious me, a good bit of a conga line forming behind Dylan, and Dylan and Favre's squabble here. Murphy, brilliant crash helmet there from Murphy. I'm wondering if that might be something to do. It might be his Brazilian inspired crash helmet. Nigel, no different crash helmets here tonight. He's the championship leader. He doesn't want yellow flag is out then, and who's it for? It's one of the Ferraris of V Todd, and look at this. Has now got Gordo on the outside of Irvine. Great overtaking there for Gordo. Gordo's car looks like it's been already in a couple of scrapes, as has Irvine's car, but Gordo in 14th position there. Craigar and Dopey fighting for the final points position at the moment. Craigar is struggling on these hard tyres, isn't there? He's just dropping back slightly. He's going to have a look then, but I think that door is always going to close out for Craigar, and he's also probably hurt his momentum, because now all over the back of him is Casal. DRS will be available at the just at the end of the straight, and yellow flag then. Someone's gone off. That's Dylan, who's off the circuit. Favre is back up into a 4th position, and Dylan is down into 6th position. And here comes Speed Kai. Goodness me, he's got a lot of speed as well. He is flying through the field. He's up into 4th position, passes the AlphaTauri. Brilliant some detail. Dylan has just got been overtaken now by Brabant as well. Oh, contact there. Contacted. I'm wondering if the soft tire's going off there, and Brabant is around there. Oh, goodness me. And yes, sir, and Brabant there is going to be very unhappy with that then. He's dropped all the way down to 17th position. Hopefully he's got no damage. But yeah, that was disappointing then for both drivers, I think. Cirrus Mushroom, who spun? I don't know who spun, to be honest. We just seen a Brabant spin a minute ago, but Cirrus Mushroom's about 20 seconds in front, behind me at the moment now. Unfortunately, that's the problem with going through Streamlabs then. So just watching Favre, who's back up into 5th position now as well. And of course, you would think, oh no, who spun, wouldn't you? Because it's not like that I'm commentating or anything, is it? Dylan is struggling. I wonder if he has got damage after that contact between himself and Favre into the centre S, and potentially that might be a big talking point now. Nigel will only get 10 laps or so out of the soft tyres, is what Cirrus Mushroom mentioned earlier on. Then while you were on lap 6 already, and it does feel like Nigel has lost a lot of momentum now that he had earlier on this race, and Casal into 11th position now. Just watching Nigel now as well. Murphy is harvesting, but Nigel just too far back at the moment now. Dylan currently in 6th position. And now here comes Nigel then, trying to sneak up the inside then, and look at this. So we got some wheel-to-wheel racing. I love that shot, but it's a shame that we're on the wrong car for that one. Nigel up the inside, passes Murphy, but Murphy is thinking more along the long game here. Camera Racer, I should say, up into 11th position, passes the Alfa Romeo driver, which will only be Alfa Romeo for one more year before they revert back to the Sauber team, which Sauber was a part of the ALR team for one season in 2018 before they became the Alfa Romeo team. So it'd be great to see the Sauber name back on the grid, albeit for only 2 seasons before they become the Audi team then in 2026. And so exciting times then. It's Brabant off the circuit. I think that's a bit of frustration there from the Mercedes driver after it got very tight into the centre S, didn't it? That's where all the action is so far. So at the moment, Equaz on the hard tyres then is struggling to keep up with Beast then, but those tyres will go off quicker as Brabant is. I think that's Brabant's having a lot of frustration in that Mercedes car then. And look, Nigel's trying to have a go on the inside here. No safety car yet then for these soft tyres. I shouldn't have mentioned Brabant then. Unfortunately, no, you shouldn't. Serious Mushroom there. But I think the Brabant, I think that it was more of getting too close for comfort, wasn't it? Down into turn number 1 and 2. One incredible start so far. No retirements just yet. Then V Todd down in 18th position now. Brabant down in 19th position. Smithy Almighty down in 20th position. And Smithy Almighty, the only driver to go into the pits so far in this Grand Prix. Just watching Nigel. Speed Kai then. Speed Kai doing a great job standing for Fanjo tonight then, Speed Kai. He's flown his way up into second position so far. He's had a magnificent start in this race there. Murphy has now got the attention of Dopey Lemons, who's on the medium tyres, and there's a lot of mixture of tyres out there at the moment. Dylan has let Nigel through there because I think Dylan is trying to focus on his own race and he's struggling to, with Nigel swarming all over the back of him, but Nigel's now got 2-second deficit, 3-second deficit between himself and his teammate Farf, who is up into 5th position at the moment. Potster 3/10 of a second back at this moment in time there from Equalson, so I don't expect any change of the order just now, but we do have Craig R, I think, getting very defensive. He has got defensive. Ferrari is off in the background. It's the V Todd car who's off the circuit then, and Irvine is currently in no man's land as well in 17th position there. But then we got a very close bunch then from I think it's from Dylan all the way down to Reflections there. Welsh Manada just dropping off the back of this battle here, but she's got Danny for company in that second Mercedes. It's a bad day at the moment there for the Mercedes outfit. Murphy has lost out to Dominic. He hasn't, though, because he's back at the inside. Murphy is he's not going to let this one go. He's not going to let this one go too easy there. But Dopey is on the quicker tire at the moment, but one of the hard tires will start to come into their own in the not too distant future there. Murphy back up the inside there. Great side by side running between Dopey Lemons and Murphy as we come down the dive, and here comes Dopey Lemons up the inside. Murphy has to yield at that stage, but he does have DRS, and Craig R is having a sniff on the inside as Craig R has got those tyres sorted now, and now then he has started to put in some very competitive times in that McLaren Mercedes. Murphy all over the back. They've lost DRS there to Dylan because of this incredible battling in the infield, and now Murphy is back up into 8th position there. Look in the background, we have got all kinds of battling going on between Camaro Casal, who's on the soft tires still, but I think it's now the soft tires are starting to struggle. Remember, they started to struggle in the race around a couple of laps before in the sprint race, and goodness me, and Gordo up into 13th position. Was that 14th? He's well off the circuit there, Gordo is, and Reflection is going to get back through. He has got back through and up into 13th position there. Maldonado and Danny in the background are really starting to eat into this gaggle of cars, and it's a fighting for a couple of positions, for a lot of positions. If you make up time, and Gordo up the inside, and Reflections are just about keeping it on the island there. Fantastic. Yellow flag. Irvine's off the circuit there at turn 7, I think it is, or 8, unfortunately. Trilly, wasn't it? Portermassa. Yeah, shocking behaviour. It's the Trilly train, isn't it, now as well? Talking of Trilly, we have certainly got the Trilly train within effect then. Pot stuff there is a bit too far back, believe it or not. They know it's all over the gearbox. Into the pits comes Nigel, and Serious Mushroom smack bang on lap 10 in this Grand Prix. The championship leader Nigel into the pits, and as you mentioned, could be a great day for Nigel, but at the moment he has to now win this race with a no score in the Grand Prix earlier on then, so he's going to have to get those hard tires. An awfully long way to go. I think they can get to the end, but of course it's going to be a very trying evening now for Nigel. Quell still doing a good job. He's going for the longer stint at this one. Nigel coming on the pits now, but Irvine's in front of him, so that's another car that Nigel has got to negotiate getting past. And I love this helmet design, by the way, from Pot Stuff. Beautiful stuff indeed. So Murphy past now, Dopey Lemons, but they have looked at their second half behind Dylan now, who is currently in 6th position. Goodness me, I wonder if Dopey there got a bit wrong-footed by Murphy, and now can Craig R start to claw his positions that he lost earlier on this race? Can he get himself back up the order? Casal doing a great job on those soft tires, by the way. He's only 8/10 of a second away from Camaro. He is starting to drop off now. Potstuff has taken 3rd position, and he has now, and he's up into 3rd position. Potstuff second. Equals in 3rd position then. Gordo reflecting. Casal's in the pits. That is, I'm getting myself all kerfuffled in this one. But Camaro is in 10th position there. Gordo's up into 11th position. As Dopey Lemons is starting to drop back, as Murphy has got a bit of breathing space now, so he can breathe a sigh of relief. Reflections getting past Gordo, though, is goodness me. I love the headicam shots on this game. It's fantastic. Gordo's going to have a sniff, is he? Not quite then, so you may have to wait till the DRS set. In the background there, I think, was Maldonado and Danny still fighting for that 13th position. Then Nigel hasn't got past Irvine yet. That's surprising there. I thought that he would have got past Irvine on that maybe on the second lap then. Well, he is on the second lap actually, because of course it does take a little while to warm up these tyres. Pot Stuff, I think, would like to have got past Equalson a bit earlier on than what he has done, being potentially there, because he is on the quicker tyre, which may leave him vulnerable later on in this race. And Irvine's off the circuit now, so that's one less car for Nigel to overtake then, and he's got damage as well, but he has recovered, Irvine has, but he's unfortunately, that's a lot of damage. Brabbit is through, and that is a big blow indeed then. So just going down the hill in Gordo, and Gordo reflects on an almighty scrap here. Look at this, and there's a lot of muddy cars out there. Goodness gracious me, it's a bit like Rallycross out there at the moment. Here comes Maldonado, also very keen now, isn't she, to have a look then. She's alongside Gordo. Maldonado has taken 11th position. She's taken 2 in 1 here. I've had some rubbish camera angles there, but she's still on the inside. She passes and she passes Gordo and up into 11th position. I thought that Gordo and her spun then. What a maneuver. Max Verstappen, eat your heart out, because that was an incredible overtake there from Maldonado, taking 2 into 1 down into turn 4 for Maldonado. Great stuff indeed. That Tuna Train, I missed him. Yeah, of course. Slippery Tuna was a part of last season, wasn't he? But I don't think he ever got the 2022 game, did he? Unfortunately. See, I'm helping you out with the arrows. Thank you very much, Sarah. I think, I do need the arrows. And Equas has dropped out because Speed Kai is flying up the order. Fantastic stuff indeed. Someone's also, I've also missed another overtake as well, which is shocking stuff. You would think that I'll be, I would have got used to it by now, but never mind. Speed Kai up in the third position. I reckon he's going to be a danger man later on this race, isn't he? And what is going on here? Goodness gracious me. We've got, I'm getting so confused. I'm trying to look for a Red Bull, I think. And there he is. And look at this, as Maldonado has just escaped this battle. She doesn't want anything to do with the reflections. Craigar and Camera are also swapping position as well, down into turn 4, and look at this, and Camera's back up into 9th position on the medium tyres, of course. Gordo in reflections, they're going to have the is they having the rivalry of the season potentially. Danny's off the circuit, and I don't think I think that's end plate damage. I think Irvine's had to come to the pits a lot earlier than what he would have liked there on the in the Haas car. He spun earlier on then, and that is damage. It is damage there for the Mercedes car, and that is a blow indeed for Danny, and he's another driver that didn't want to come in the pits too early on then. I'm very struggling to keep up with this action. I don't know how Nosy does it all the time. I'm talking to Nosy. Good luck, Silver, as I hope you enjoy your trips. Sir Special would say that. I'm sure that Nosy has already reviewed the sights and sounds of Germany. So I hope he's having a lovely trip indeed then, Nosy is. Of course, we're having a lovely trip into the unknown here in Brazil as well. Casal is past Danny. Danny, of course, limping home. Gordo's in the pits, so he's had enough of that. He's going to go for the undercut, but remember, it takes a lap or two to fire up the tyres, and Nigel is now starting to fire up the hard tyres. Well, he's back up into 13th position, Nigel is, at the moment, but he needs to win this race to win the World Championship at the very least, and that is without Equals finishing 7th or lower, or is it 8th or lower? I can't remember now. I'm going to have to get me a calculator out there. Gordo is sweating at the moment. I'm not surprised, Gordo. You've had an intense battle between yourself and Reflections there. Pot Stuff is now going to have to think about getting defensive here on Speed Kai, who has been doing a magnificent job. And I thought you were spinning there, but Speed Kai is absolutely flying at that moment. Equals there, who will have the quicker tyre later on this race there. Soft tyres there for Danny. Irvine has set the fast lap of the race, and Gordo and Brabbit have just locked. It's just gone into combat as well, with Gordo jumping down to 16th position there. Kai has not got past at the moment, has he? Unfortunately, Murphy is still a bit too far back to overtake Dopey Lemons at the moment, but Murphy is on the harder tyre. Craigar is free. I think he'd be happy that most of the medium runners are coming into pits now, Craigar. Maldonado is also in the top 10 as well, making their way through the field quite nicely indeed. So are we watching then, Serious Russian was saying, with the thank you very much, Serious Russian, he's putting arrows underneath so I can actually see what people are talking, what people are saying in the comments as well. I've got to find a way to get rid of this heart, because I don't think Nosy has this problem. Maybe might be because he has a Apple device, whilst I am on the Android device potentially. And of course, we know about all the the rivalry between those two devices, don't we? Even though the only rivalry is between anyone who works in IT. Ultimate Beast is 2.2 seconds in front of these guys. I wonder if Ultimate Beast there is just happily chilling along here in Brazil tonight. Of course, he is 2.1 seconds in front. Then no one coming into the pits just yet. Just as I say that, I think Pot Stuff has actually come into the pits. He has, you know, and so he's one of the earlier runners that is coming to the pits. I think the tire blankets. I was one for getting rid of the tire blankets, but I do feel that with the strategy and things like that, it has taken away a bit of the undercut in this, hasn't it? I'm a bit devastated by that potentially. So I do feel like that the hard tires, it takes a while to warm up, and then you do lose the undercut, don't you? As we got a Red Bull off the circuit. I think that's Reflections then, who's just gone onto the hard tyres. As the hard tyre, they might be because they're cold then. Smith Almighty, who has been on those hard tyres for 14 laps. Pot Stuff coming out of the pits now. He is going to be out, and that is a beautiful stop and a beautiful bit of space that he's found himself in this one. And Pot Stuff in 10th position now. He's got a lovely bit of space as well. Yes, 2 seconds may not be a lot then, but I think that it gives him time now to warm up those tyres then, and to really find his feet on those hard compound then. Here's Murphy then. We're expecting Murphy, Dylan, Favre and Equals to go slightly longer in this race. Danny has set the fast side of the race on those soft tyres. Danny, I think, is hoping for a safety car or something to get him back into this then. Out of the junction, Unisal then. Ultimate Beast has responded then. The race leader is in the pits now then for the McLaren Mercedes team. We're looking for the Papaya overalls. And where, I hear you asking, where is Nigel? Where is Pot Stuff? Pot Stuff in the 10th position. Well, Nigel is in 11th at the moment, and Beast is in and out, shake it all about that. I think he's going to get out just in front of Pot Stuff here. Can he get out in front of Welsh Marinado as well? There's his teammate on the other side of the pit wall. There's a car in behind as well. I think that was a Dopey Lemonstone, 17 laps, and he has. Yes, Marinado is through. What about Pot Stuff? Pot Stuff is at the set. No, that's Welsh Marinado. Pot Stuff there, still about 2 seconds back then. Once again the undercut there, not as powerful as it normally is on when you got hard tires, unfortunately. So Beast is now out in 8th position, Pot Stuff in 9th position, Dopey coming out in 10th. He should get out in front of Cassar, who's in 12th position. Now then, Equals then is feathering between a second and less than a second then between himself and the Haas machine at the moment. Lap 18, we're half distance in this is Grand Prix now. When is the medium runners going to come? When are the hard runners going to come into the pit set? I don't think it'll be too long because we're already smack bang into the half distance in this race. Into the pits comes Speed Kai, who has been an absolute revelation in this race, hasn't he? Fantastic. Really been very quick indeed. Smith Almighty has lost out to Reflection set. I think that Smith will be home for some kind of safety car. Haas mechanics are primed and ready to go. Ultimate Beast has already caught to the back of Welsh Marinado. Marinado is going to go to the fence then, but Beast is going to go on the outside, takes a position then. Speed Kai is coming out of the pits now. Speed Kai, I think, has had a great in-lap here because he is going to be very close then to Beast then, but he's got a tighter pit exit to navigate, and he's going to be out behind Marinado, but he's going to be out in front of Pot Stuff. He is out in front of Pot Stuff there, and golly gosh there, great in-lap there from Speed Kai, and Pot Stuff be disappointed out there, but he is going to have the advantage because he knows where his tyres are at. They would be 2 lap older towards the end of this race, but the Speed Kai's got to warm up those tyres, but he's in the infield now. It's very difficult to overtake into the infield, so I think that Speed Kai may have the advantage so far, as Dylan and Murphy have swapped positions there. Murphy up into 3rd position, Dylan dropping down into 4th. I think that Dylan has struggled with the car in the last couple of laps or so. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage, but he's lost a second there. What has happened to Dylan, unfortunately, because he did have the pace, didn't he? But it's all gone a bit awry. Lap 20, Sirius Westrom is telling Welsh Marinado to come into the pits, and Murphy up into a superb 3rd position there. Into the pits comes Dylan very early for the hard runners, but I am interested to see if that is because he's got damage. Williams mechanics are at the end of the pit lane. Marinado then is not going to get too defensive here, is she? And look, that's gone Speed Car's gone purple. Yellow flag, one of the Mercedes is off. Into the pits comes Dylan then. No damage on the Williams actually, so he comes out. Craig are also out of the pits as well. Good stuff then. Pot Stuff followed Speed Kai through, and this could be the battle for the lead. That Mercedes is struggling in the back there. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it might be Danny in the 2nd Mercedes on the soft tyres. Dopey has come out in front of Dylan here, but Dylan does have the medium tyres now. He's coming very early, hasn't he? No retirements yet. Great stuff indeed there. Craig R in 30th position could score some major points here tonight for Craig R then here. Yes, hats off indeed then to Fair Play to M&M for keeping going. Yeah, I think that I think it's very hard to keep going in races like this where you're just not getting the rub of the green. You're not getting any safety cars either. Unfortunately for Brabbit there, and of course Brabbit, I'm wondering if he got damaged as well when there's a couple of issues earlier on in this race. And Pot Stuff down the third there, but this is a great drive from Pot Stuff. Oh no, Casal, who's having a fine drive, who's spun the car, and there's debris on the circuit here, and is that going to be a VSC or full course VSC or a safety car? Casal would be hoping for one of those two, but I don't think he's going to get it because Casal has damaged his car. VTOD done 19 laps on those hard tires. VTOD has there. All at sea at the moment of VTOD is there. It's so unusual to see VTOD struggling for pace here. VTOD there now is now in the 15th position now. Yeah, hats off to the drivers that are having a bit of a nightmare race today. Good stuff indeed. So we've got a lot of gaps forming now in the Grand Prix. Dylan has passed Dopey Lemons and made his way up into 9th position now. Dylan has out on the medium tyres, so the medium tyres may be a good good undercut then for the medium runners. And as Maldonado then has let Nigel through there, hasn't it? I think that's Maldonado's done 20 laps on the hard tyres and is just struggling just trying to get the power down potentially. Into the pits comes Equals, and Murphy is going to stay out there. Farf has stayed out as well. No, Murphy's in the pits as well. Now it's Aston Martin going to do a double stack here, then this is going to be fantastic to see if that is the case. Well, Equals has already gone then. What about Murphy? Aston Martin is still preparing in the pit lane now, and let's see then. There's Equals going in, and there's a slight delay, but I don't think it's too bad there. So it's a slower stop than usual then. Yellow flag is one of the Ferraris is off then, and who is that? That's VTOD off there coming out of the Ducks bill, I think it is then, and that is a shame then. Dylan, where is Murphy? Murphy is coming out of the pits now, but Dopey Lemons and Dylan have got past and now up into 8th and 9th position. Now Maldonado is staying out, as is Farf as well, and so staying out very long in this race. And yellow flags has won the Ferraris off again. Equals is now in 5th position. Of course, we knew he was going to lose out to Pot Stuff, to Speed Car as well, and to Ultimate Beast then. But Ultimate Beast now is under the cosh now from the Haas driver of Speed Car here. Oh, goodness gracious me then. Becca might be going to softs then. Goodness gracious me. And just on board with a Speed Car who's up into third position. Can he go for I think this would be his first ever race win in ALR Silver if he can win it here today, but I do think Equals on those medium tires is going to be very difficult to keep back then. Into the pits comes Farfed in the lead in AlphaTauri tonight then, but I think that is a team leader, or the driver who's challenging for the championship, Nigel's now been in 5th position there. Great drive here for Nigel. He's done 12 laps, so on those hard tires they should get him to the end of the race then. Where is Farf going to come out now? Speed has taken the lead, then he has taken the lead. Beast has lost out, then Speed Car, who's been absolutely flying in this race, is now taking the lead, and yes, now he's got the pace. He needs to run away, doesn't he, quickly here. Farf out in front of Dylan and Dopey Lemons. I think that was quite surprising to see Farf quite the way further up the road there. I was expecting to be a bit further back, but good stuff indeed there for Farf. Craig R just outside in the 11th position, outside the points of the 11th of the morning. Into the pits comes Smithy there, and wonder what tires he's going to go on then. And you keep an eye on the Williams mechanics then. Smithy is he's Smithy, like Irvine, like Casal, Vitar, Danny, Brabbit, Reflection. They're having very difficult races out there today, aren't they? Smith and White is back onto the medium tire to the end of the Grand Prix. Yellow flag then, and what has happened? Smithy Mighty has had an issue and he's damaged the car. Smithy has he's had an issue leaving the pit lane. Of course, Gerhard Berger had that issue back in Portugal of 1993, so it can happen to the best of us there, but unfortunately Serge Rusher is not mentioned in the Haas. And now then, Dan is up, and Murphy is past Dopey, moving himself up to 9th position there. That is the pace of the fresh medium rubber now. And Equals is just within 1.2 seconds of Potstuff, currently in 3rd position there. So Dan is feeling the need to defend there, but I think that Dopey Lemons is too far back there to challenge Murphy for the battle for 9th and 10th position there. But I think that the alternative strategy, very similar to what Max Verstappen did in Miami last night, I think that is definitely, I think that the alternative strategy is going to be very difficult strategy to defend against potentially here. But Ultimate Beast is hanging on to the back of Speed Kai here. Great performance here from Ultimate Beast, but he would like to be getting a Grand Prix win under his belt again for Beast. But I do feel that he is going to be a bit beyond the 8 ball at the moment, isn't he? There, of course, Ultimate Beast, I was going to mention earlier on, he's had a Grand Prix win. He would love to have had a second here tonight. He's already had 2 pole positions there. The yellow flag there for one of the Red Bulls, and who's Reflections is off as well. A lot of mistakes are starting to creep into these drivers, into the drivers now. I think that is a bit of sprint as well as a Grand Prix as well. There's a lot of racing here tonight. Then is there into the pits because Maldonado finally getting off of the medium tires. I wonder if you might go soft here. You know, well we'll find out then in just a jiffy. The Alfa Romeo mechanics are getting to work. Then pit soft tires is gone on Smithy Almighty's car. Cam Maldonado then she's on medium tires until the end of the Grand Prix. So I think she's definitely thinking about the percentage game here tonight. Good stuff indeed there from Maldonado in 14th there. But at the moment the Alfa Romeo team looking at getting no points there, which is not going to help them get off the bottom of the constructors. Unfortunately, Equals all over the back of Potstuff then, and they're losing time here. Equals needs to get through. Just 11 laps to go in this one. Brabbitt has got past Gordo and up into 13th position now. The battle at the front is really heated up. Then half a second separates the 2 leaders then as well as we power out of the junction. Yun Kao here, or Yun Sao I should say, flying past me now. Then DRS the beats too far back. Speed has certainly got some speed as they going up the hill. Goodness gracious me, it's like that cartoon mouse Speedy Gonzalez. Goodness me, he's flying at the moment, isn't he, up that hill? But I think he is struggling. I wonder if he's used a lot of deployment there, because now now let's see then if Beast can get past here going down the hill. And look at Potstuff, he's going to really have to get the fence then. Equals up the inside position 3 it is. Dopey Lemon's got a penalty. That's only our second penalty of the race there. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Potstuff is having a look there, but Equals has the position there. He's got 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds between himself and Speed Kai, and he's also got between himself and the leader, and then 3.3 seconds there. I have got a problem there, blimey. Right, I've got to get back into the session of Toronto here. Lovely. Goodness me. Ooh, well, this is a good opportunity though to quickly have a breather then, isn't it? We've got 10 laps to go at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and I must say it's been a rather doozy Grand Prix as well. And I'm gutted because I was about to look at the battle between Brabbitt and Gordo here, but unfortunately, I think we're going to miss the juicy battle which is between those 2 drivers. There, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get. If I can get back into the session then. Hopefully I can. I can't believe we've still got no retirements either. It's fantastic stuff at the moment, isn't it? Whew, my goodness gracious me. It's a shame I got a mute button on this, because I think I do need a bit of a just to wet my whistle then. Breathe, Sean. I think that the game was actually thinking that I was about to spontaneously combust there. Luckily, I've got no flatulence tonight. Right, back to the action, hopefully. Yes, I'm ready, Mr. Game. Let's get going, shall we? Dylan's out of the Grand Prix! Oh, no, and Dylan then. And that is a shame. We didn't see what happened. I think I'm wondering if there was an incident between Dylan and someone else, because he has pitted and quitted. So I'm not sure what's happened there with Dylan. Well, I assume he's pitted and quitted. Ultimate Beast then is still in leading at the moment with Equals currently in third moment. But Dylan out of the Grand Prix. I think he might be frustrated. Oops, fat fingers. Indeed, then. Don't worry, Sir Smash. I have big ones as well. Fingers, that is. Right, Smash Man now into 30th position there. We've missed this battle between Brabbitt and Gordo. This is 11th, 12th and 13th now. It's Maldonado is going to be quicker than a hiccup here. She's all over the back of Brabbitt and almost off the circuit there. I think she was surprised about how quickly she caught up to Brabbitt in that battle for 11th and 12th here. But they do have a massive 11-second gap between ourselves and Camarasa. Craig are doing a great job in the so Equals hasn't really gained on the front too. I was expecting that gap to be done a lot quicker than that. Smith and Whitey's got a 3-second penalty. A nightmare day for the Williams team. One as Brabbitt is passed. Maldonado's off the circuit though, and she did get past a lovely pirouette there from Maldonado before coming back onto the circuit. However, she's not going to be concerned about her pirouette. She's going to be more concerned about getting that 12th position and losing it very quickly here. Yeah, Equals hasn't got got the pace to keep up with the two race leaders tonight, has he? As it stands, though, the championship will go on until the next race in Portugal in the Argyle event for the Portuguese Grand Prix, as we have a quick pit stop. Yes, as we have a quick pit stop then for... back to Europe before then we go to China. Before we go to China and then the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I can't believe we've only got 4 weeks left of this very elongated season. Of course, so this season started off. Was it August that we started this season? I can't remember now. It's the longest season in terms of how spread out it is. It's also the longest season in terms of races as well. 24 races. And currently, as the calendar for next season goes for ALR, it's at the moment. Then I think we are almost following the official Formula One calendar for next season, and hopefully with I think that Qatar and Vegas is on the game right from the get-go as well, so they will also be new additions to the ALR calendar for next season. So cannot wait for that. Then going to Vegas and of course going to Qatar as well. Then I think we're using the same configuration of circuit that MotoGP does. If we've got any MotoGP fans in the comments, Equal's still behind at the moment there, and look, he's not eating into this lead at all, is he? Equals isn't. So Speed Kai, who could be going for his first race win of his career. He's only raced once so far in silver, and that was a 5th position for the Red Bull team. However, for the Haas team tonight, then could be getting some good points for the Haas team and really helping them out in the constructors and the joint constructors as well. Equals has got it under 3 seconds now, but he needs to go quicker than that. Nigel's done 20 laps almost on these hard tyres. Nigel's done a great job to recover the deficit he had earlier on, but the issues that happened in the sprint race, that's the perils of the sprint, as now unfortunately as Nigel came a cropper, now is and you can see the cars in the background of Farf, of Murphy, and I think Dopey Lemons and Craig are also going to be interested in this 5th position now. Farf, I don't think there's any team orders in the AlphaTauri, but with Nigel not in the position to win the championship today, and Farf is trying his very best to keep that 5th position, maybe even get 4th in the championship as well. I think that I wonder if there ain't going to be any team orders. That's going to be thrown out the window, and let's see what they can do. But Farf needs to get a bit of a move on here, doesn't he? He does need to get a bit of a move on here, because because at this moment now he is not catching up quickly enough. Same with Equals either in a 3rd position. So far, Speed leads the way with Beast in 2nd position. 3rd position is Equals. 4th position is Potstuff. Great drive for Potstuff today. One of his best results of the season. One of his best performances of the season as well. Good stuff indeed there for Potstuff. 5th position is Nigel. A great recovery drive for Nigel. Really good stuff, but Farf is in 6th position and hunted him down. 7th is Murphy. 8th position is Dopey Lemons. 9th position is Craig R. Craig R driving a superb race as well then. He had a great sprint race, and I think he's had a very solid, and he's also had a very solid race itself then. Who is your driver of the day then? I would also say that the driver of the day, I would say the driver of the day, probably Nigel might be candidate for driver of the day in this race. Also, Camera Race has got a penalty, unfortunately, and which is a bit disappointing. And of course, I think that the driver of the day probably should be combined effort over the sprint venue. But yeah, the driver of the day is coming up in just a jiffy. So don't go anywhere, folks, and because that is going to be a very interesting vote. I'm sure of it. Then I would actually put Speed Kai as one of the votes for driver of the day, but I would probably hazard a guess that of course I know to do that for of course for reserves that meant to get driver of the day, are they? I'm trying to remember what happened in the sprint race, so that's so that would be hang on a minute. How do I rewind on YouTube? 1 second. Right then, there we go. Becca driver of the day, just saying that now, to be honest, I reckon that, yes, I think that goes without saying, hands down, doesn't it, really? Very good stuff indeed then. Right, on board now with, well, sorry, not on board with Farf. We're looking at Farf. He is about 4 laps. I think he's going to run out of time, you know. I think the Beast and Speed Car have been very good in this one, haven't they? Very good stuff indeed for Very good stuff, very good stuff indeed there for those drivers. And back on board with Speed Guy, who has had a magnificent performance here tonight, hasn't he? Ultimate Beast, great drive to second as well. Equals, who started first there, be disappointed to be third, I think, in the end. Then on the harder medium tyre, then on the quicker medium tyre, I should say, which I was thinking that would be the preferred tyre to go on in the in this event then. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case as we go down into turn one, once again. Then as look at this as we navigate the center SN. Hello, welcome back, everyone. Apologies for that. I'm trying to work out who should get driver of the day, because I'm finding that a tough one. Yeah, I think that Equals has done a great job today, but I would also I'd like to give it to Ultimate Beast as well, you know, because I think they've drove a superlative job. I remember Farf and Murphy have come from almost the back of the field, but as well, haven't they? Oh goodness me, I think this is a tough one tonight, isn't it? I don't know who to pick. Then goodness gracious me. But there we go. I'll just do that. Right, lap 34 out of 36 then. Here, unfortunately, I was trying to rewind the stream so I could actually see who did where in qualifying as well, and for the sprint. But unfortunately, I couldn't. But yeah, there's your driver of the day. Post come up: Nigel, Murphy, Ultimate Beast, and Equals, and that is for the. I'm trying to done that with the combined. Combined of both for both. Oh, we got yellow flag off is one of the. Oh no, it's Craigar who's done a superb job today, and I hope he didn't damage the car, because Craigar's drove a superlative race today. He's down 4 positions, but he did so well in the sprint, hasn't he? But he is just trundling. He is trundling in 10th position. Gordo is in 11th, with Marnada in 12th position. Danny is coming out of the pits now. Speed, I think another driver that probably, if we was voting for reserves, I think Speed would definitely be driver of the day as well. He's done a superb job today, Speed has, hasn't he? Beast currently is currently second at the moment. Then I went with Dan, the hard one. That is, yeah, it's between Equals, Murphy. I would have picked Farf as well, but I do feel that I usually like to sit on the fence with this, but I think the Farf and Dylan came to blows there, which it was a bit unfortunate. Smith and White's got a 3-second penalty. I would like to have given it to Pot. There's a lot of drivers out there. If you combined sprint and the Grand Prix itself, I think the Pot stuff deserves a mention. Equals, Beast, and Speed deserves a mention. Murphy done a brilliant job. Farford's done a great job as well. Nigel has done a superlative job in the Grand Prix there. Unfortunately, the sprint, it didn't go too well, but he did. Hats off to him for continuing now. Welshman has done really well in the Grand Prix as well. I wonder if he spent too long on the hard tyres potentially. Gordon's done a good job as well, of course. Starting on the soft tyres, made his way up into 12th position there. Oh, it was up into 11th position in the sprint, and then of course in the Grand Prix itself. And we got one of the Mercedes being lapped there. Maldonado all over the back now of Gordon. And yellow flag in 3. There's an Alfa Romeo crawling at the top, going up the hill there. I think that is Casal down in 14th position there. Hats off to the drivers that stuck with it mostly, because there's been a lot of drivers that probably would have given down tools. I certainly would have been. Casal is unfortunately another driver there on lap 35, Ben, but I think that it was almost done and dusted there for Casal. Beast is currently winning the vote then with 40% there, with Murphy on 20%, Nigel on 20%, and Equals on 20% as well. Irvine has set the fast lap race, and that would be bonus point as well. 2 retirements in this Grand Prix as Speed Kai is on the final lap of this Brazilian Grand Prix, and what an incredible performance it's been then for Speed Kai, and no safety cars either in this one. Hats off indeed then. Casal out of the race, left the session, unfortunately. Beast in second position today, was hoping to get his second Grand Prix. Equals, and the speed just wasn't there on the medium tyres, which I was surprised by. Farf is all over the back of Nigel here, but it's 1 lap too late, I think. Then, of course, the championship was not being won it's not going to be won today, as Gordo and Maldonado is having an almighty scrap for 11th and 12th position there. But Speed Kai, who is this only his second Grand Prix in silver, he came 5th in his debut, but today he's going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix, or the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, I should say. Speed Kai wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and magnificent stuff indeed there, with a Beast in second position. Brabant's got fast up as well. Equals in third, Pot stuff in fourth position. Nigel just about kept 5th position in the end. Murphy in 7th position, with Farf in 6th position there. The championship heads to Portimao in a week's time then. The championship has not been won today, as far as I'm aware anyway. The championship has not been won today, because I think after the sprint race, after the issues on the sprint race, that has meant that Nigel would have had to have won this race there, unfortunately. Then thank you for your service. Get in Kai. Brilliant stuff indeed then, and thank you very much to Terrence Mercer for sticking the arrows up so I can actually read what the comments were as well. So that's the top 10. Craig R also gets a special mention as well, as we're just waiting for reflections in that one then. Zero Time is still out the race, Cat's out of the race as well. Dylan was very much in the thick of it until issues, and I'm sure that he just didn't have the pace after the incident, did he there, which I think is one thing we're going to reflect on. Craig R spun with a couple laps to go, otherwise I think he would have been in a solid 8th or 9th position there. Murphy, far 3/10 second away from overtaking his teammate. Alpha Tauri have had a bit of a disappointed Interlagos race here in Sao Paulo, haven't they? But a great recovery drive as well. Yes, Nigel from 19th on the grid there to finish 5th. He is not the champion here today. It goes on. He goes on for one more week then in the Argive in Portimao for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And I can't remember what happened a lot of that race then. So I'm going to have to refresh the old memory bank, I think. So the gap between Equals and between Equals and hang on a minute, I've got me master on 1 second there. Equals finished third, didn't he today? Good stuff indeed. Though I'm glad I've been watching it, haven't I? The gap in the championship is down to 50 points then, as we go into the Argive then. So for the next round of the World Championship, but so as it stands then, the championship is still being hotly contested then, as we go for just 3 more rounds to go. No more sprints now. That is it now. No more sprints for this season. Thank goodness for that, I would say. But of course, we've got 6 next season, so that's going to get very interesting. Let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, from the Brazilian Grand Prix. So, Speed Kine, only his second Grand Prix in silver, won that race. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then let's just have a quick word from Kai. He said, "I'm sorry, I can't do interviews tonight. Sorry, guys, I got to rush off to work. Haha. GG's on the podium. Thanks for letting me race. It was a pleasure to see you race, Speed. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then Beast that finished second today. Brilliant drive from Speed. Equals, great overall performance for Equals, but he was strong on those medium tires towards the end. And Pot stuff, great drive in fourth. Nigel, great coverage drive in fifth. Farf in sixth position with Murphy seventh. Dopey Lemons eighth. Ninth is Camero. 10th is Craig R. Manano just outside the points stand position. Very consistent since her return. Unfortunately, no points for Welsh Manano today. Gordo in 12th position. Great attempt on those soft tires in the sprint. Loved it. Reflections 13th. Brabant then. What a shame for Brabant then. Issues at the issues on turn 1 has cost him. Irvine, issues in the sprint race cost him as well. V. Todd was all lost at sea today. Not sure what happened to him there. Must be damaged that Ferrari or something was wrong in the setup. In 17th, 16th, Danny in 17th, Smithfield Mighty 18th. Other retirements was Casal and Dylan out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately then for those two drivers. So we've heard from Speed. Let's take a quick chat with Ultimate Beast. Beast, great drive to second today then. You very much pushed the envelope in the sprint and also in the Grand Prix itself, but it was second on both occasions then. How satisfied are you with that?
Wow, what a race. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with my performance in that race, to be fair. Yeah, just overall decent, really.
It very was, very consistent indeed then. Of course, you went for the traditional strategy, whilst Equals went for the alternative strategy, starting on the hard and going to medium, whilst you went for the medium and went on the hard side. Was you hoping to jump Equals in the second race start, going down to turn 1 with yourself on mediums?
That was my plan. I always like to start on opposite, faster tired end of the rest of the field. But it just didn't quite work out. Unlucky, but it's okay.
And of course, you've been very consistent as well this season. I think you're doing a very good job in full position in the World Championship. In your first season in the ALR as well, you're very much.
Fourth now?
Pardon?
Am I fourth now?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. It might be completely wrong. But you're fifth or fourth. How do you fifth or fourth? How do you feel though? Is your first season's been then here in ALR?
It's been great, man. I love every race pretty much. Apart from Mexico, that was a bit of a stinky one. But yeah, overall great.
And what is your aspiration for the remainder of the season? And of course, I think that the top 3 might be out of reach now. But fourth position, are you satisfied with that? Considering the fact that I think you missed the first couple of races because I don't think you was a full-time driver at that stage. But I'd say that's a pretty good first season, isn't it?
Yeah. My goal was fourth. The top 3 have just gotten there absolutely too fast for me. And I think I missed like 4 or 5 races at the beginning. I'm not too sure, but overall not too bad.
Yeah, I think you missed 4 races at the start or something like that, and then you missed Singapore. But apart from that, you've been ever present as well. So really good stuff. Then as we go on to Argive in Portugal in a week's time, then just a couple more races to go. Then how difficult do you find it then to keep up your motivation where you're kind of in no man's land if you get 4th position and far from a bit of a difficult spot at the moment? Then how difficult is to keep yourself motivated knowing that the top 3 is out of reach for you?
I just love racing, mate. I've got to be honest. I love this league. The top guys is just so fast, so good to drive with. So I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well done indeed then. And yes, I'm looking forward to seeing more action from yourself next week as well in Portugal then. How are you feeling for Portugal then? It's a bit of a difficult, tricky track then, but how are you feeling?
Yeah. Probably looking for outside the podium, to be fair. I'm not great, but we never know.
Really good stuff. Well done today, Ultimate Beast. Superb drive there, both in the sprint and the Grand Prix itself there. Of course, 2 seconds there for Ultimate Beast, and brilliant. And I think that may have elevated him up to fourth in the championship as well. Don't quote me on that though, because my maths is appalling. What were the headlines of today though was that the championship goes on to Portugal in a week's time. Then the gap is 50 points, give or take, between Equals and Nigel. Then so Nigel's crowning coronation, Kuna Fiesta in Brazil tonight, but it goes on to Portugal in a week's time as well. Great drive from the reserve driver today of Speed Kai, who was absolutely fantastic. His second drive, and he absolutely was flying, wasn't he? We'll see you in a week's time then. Knowles will be back to call the action in silver. Goodbye.